It should have started.
Okay.
You're recording. Yes, go ahead, Dean.
So, as most of you know, this launch vehicle, the Space Launch System, launched earlier this week. And right now, as we're speaking, I'm doing this. Right now, this is the business end of the Space Launch System. Now, Space Launch System is, to give you an idea, this is the largest launch vehicle that NASA's ever launched. This is larger than the Saturn V. Now, this thing up here, the silver thing, that's not the scale. This is 1/200 scale, and if that was 1/200 scale, it'd be about this big. So it isn't, it's not fair. That's 1/72, this is 1/200, and this is 1/48 scale. So the Space Launch System that took off uses 4 Space Shuttle main engines on the bottom of it. Now, what's really sad about it, these Space Shuttle main engines were designed to operate for 100 missions each. And we basically threw them away in one launch. So that's really sad. But obviously, they weren't going to be using them for anything other than museum pieces. So from that standpoint, I guess it's good. But we had designed this system so if they wanted to reuse it, they could have popped out the engine section and had that land via parachute, and it could have been reused 100 times. And so it's not that, at most, the Space Shuttle main engines were used 50 times. So they had another 50 launches that left out of them. So that was sad. Then you have a second stage with a smaller engine, which takes it into the transfer orbit into the moon orbit. Now, right now, as we're speaking today, this is the capsule, which is, so you have this upper section, which the escape section blew off, and so, and then it left this. This is the Orion capsule and service module. Now, the Orion capsule and service module, if you remember the Apollo era, we only had, there were no solar panels on it. They used fuel cells for the power supply. So they used hydrogen and oxygen to basically provide electricity and also drinking water to the astronauts. Now, in this case, the European Space Agency is building the service module, and they provide the power and propulsion to get us to the moon and back from the lunar orbit into Earth orbit. And then up here in the front, this is the main capsule where the humans will be located. Right now, there are 3 robots in there, but we can carry as many as 6 astronauts in here. The next mission that we're flying is going to have humans in it, which will have the first female astronaut and the first person of color. Most people, when I give presentations in schools, most people think that we've launched all types of races and sexes to the moon, and no. There's only people who have been on the moon have been 12 humans, which have landed on the moon, and of those 12 humans, all of them were male Caucasians. So this will be the first opportunity for a female and a person of color is going to be on the next Artemis mission. By the way, Artemis is for the overall program, like Apollo. Apollo was a Saturn V launch vehicle. In this case, this is the Space Launch System, the SLS, which has 2 of these solid propellant strap-on engines like the Space Shuttle. It has a core engine, which uses liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And then it has a second stage engine, which also uses liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And then finally, it uses hydrogen engines in its service module for the Orion capsule. Now, this has a lot more room than the Space Shuttle, than the Apollo capsule. The Apollo capsule only had room for 3 astronauts. This can carry up to 6. Now, let's put that into perspective. This is for the second mission to, so we're going to have humans. This is going to be on the next mission to cure humans. That could carry up to 100 people. Big difference. 100 people. So you might want to move that back so you can see the difference in these stages. And if you could be so kind as to also help me pull that second stage off the top there. There we are. So the second stage here is actually going to go to the moon. And not only is it going to go to the moon, it's going to come back to the Earth. And this black section is going to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. And it's going to land, initially draw heat and speed with this carbon phenolic bottom here, and then it's going to, just like the SpaceX rockets that you see landing at the Cape, it's going to have a powered landing like this, and it's going to land both on the moon and on Mars. Sorry, doing this so you can't see it. It's going to use a powered landing vertically like this, which is pretty awesome. But these sections here, this will be for the astronauts. They can physically view out their windows. And as I said, there's room for up to 100 astronauts on this. The same type of spacecraft, by the way, is being designed to take astronauts to Mars. So we're living in exciting times. For over 50 years, we've been sitting back waiting for somebody to physically take us to the moon again. But this time, we're not going to just go to the moon and go camping, which we did on Apollo. This time, we're going to the moon to build permanent facilities. We're going to go to places like the Shackleton crater on the south pole of the moon, which we believe, we know, there's water ice in there. And with the water ice, we can use to we can separate water into hydrogen and oxygen, so we can breathe the oxygen. We can take the hydrogen, oxygen. We can take the water, by the way. We can filter it and we can make it so we can drink the water. We can take the hydrogen and oxygen and we can turn it to gas and liquefy it so we can make it rocket engine fuel with it. So water is key to the exploration of both the moon and Mars. And we found water on both planets. So we anticipate that we're going to be able to use what they call in situ resource utilization, ISRU. And so with that, we'll be able to live off the land, as it were, off the moon and off Mars. On the moon, to power our bases, we can either use RTGs, radio thermonuclear reactor type systems, to provide power during the night, because you have 28 days of nighttime as well as 28 days of daytime on the moon. But a more elegant approach might be to orbit spacecraft in what we call a lunar synchronous orbit and beam energy down onto the lunar surface from space, taking solar energy from the sun and using a laser beam to power our systems on the moon. So there's lots of different exciting things that we can do, but the reason we're going to the moon first, straight to Mars, is, first of all, we only explored the equivalent of Rhode Island on the moon. And there's a lot more moon than that. And we've actually explored more surface features on Mars than we have on the moon. So there's a lot more to discover there. Secondly, we need to understand how to build a full closed cycle ecosystem. And it's better to do that when you're close to the Earth than to have a problem and find out you're 6 months away from the Earth and you have to ask for a resupply mission. So the moon is a good place to try out those type of things so that we can have colonies on Mars that can last for long periods of time without any further problems. Does anyone have any questions, by the way? I'll take a couple of them, but when I have, can keep going on. But I can provide this information to your schools, to your museums, and to any type of shows, your science fairs, whatever. And I can talk to your students about, I've been working in space colonization and space exploration for over 40 years. So I think I have a lot I can offer. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, this is so exciting. So yes, we can arrange for Dean to go to your school, or we can do it online. As I said, we can do Teams, Google Thing, Classroom, Teams, Classroom, or just like this, the Teams or Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx, you name it. But we'd love to reach out to your schools. That would be great, and we can also set up some kind of meeting. That's something we want from you. We want to know what you would like from us. And then we can bring things to you and your students. And for your need, for your career, for training, for ideas or students' need, and you can pull the student all together. Okay, so Kathleen, why don't you just speak out? Do you want to say something? I can read it, but it's good you can just speak out.
Oh, I just wanted to say thanks for having a virtual option for this meeting. I'm on the East Coast, so I wouldn't be able to attend this meeting otherwise. So appreciate you having this in a hybrid format.
Great, great. That's why we love the hybrid thing. So glad you are with us. So then you can read.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So that's great. So if you have any question, any idea, please just raise at any time. And again, we have a little bit more demo and clips I want to show you. But if you have anything, I think Robert raised hand. Robert, go ahead.
Is the inflatable heat shield going to be used on that big thing that you showed at the end there?
The inflatable heat shield is not going to be used at the moment, but what I was showing you was the bottom of the black portion of the SpaceX Starship that is made of carbon phenolic material, and that basically is the heat shield for that. But yes, we're building an inflatable heat shield to bring various payloads to the surface of Mars as well as to the surface of the Earth after a space mission. Is a lot cheaper way of bringing things that are you don't want to have get melted than using a very expensive heat shield system. But so NASA has been experimenting with that for many years. We've called it a balut shield, and so finally it's finally at a point in time where it's now operational. But for this particular purpose, and for what's the purpose for the Artemis mission, these are all heat shields which are built into the capsules, and in this case, the lifting body that SpaceX has. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Heat shield be used by firefighters?
Yeah, there's a tremendous number. For example, there are a lot of smaller companies which want to send payload to the moon, which don't have the money to pay for an expensive heat shield, but they can afford that inflatable shield, and so they'll be bringing back samples from the moon using that inflatable shield technology.
Robert, is that good? Does that answer your question, Robert?
My internet is shaky, so I didn't hear it.
I'm sorry. What I said was there are probably at least 100 small companies that are sending payloads to the moon to bring samples back. And they can't all afford very snazzy heat shields like NASA, SpaceX, ESA, and so they're going to basically be going with much cheaper ones, which are these inflatable ones. And so hopefully that answers your question. It's not going to be for the Artemis mission, but it may be for a mission.
Can firefighters use the same material to?
Say again?
Oh, no, it's okay. I was just.
Can firefighters use the same material?
What type of materials are you saying? I didn't get that first portion of your question.
Can a fighter use the same material as a heat shield?
Yes. But these, the heat shields which are being developed are using more like polymers, specially designed heat-resistant polymers, there's been over, let's see, 30 different designs of these things over the years, and so they're testing the permutations and combinations of what works the best for what level of thermal protection that they need. And so they still haven't nailed down exactly which works the best yet, and so they're still conducting tests. So when they get that down, they're going to be providing these reentry systems for companies that want to do microgravity research in Earth orbit, companies that want to be returning specimens from the moon. And by the way, we have to be very careful what we return from the moon or from Mars, because there's a possibility of them carrying some form of a biological contagion. So we want to make sure that we have a isolation facility that all types of these materials would be returned to before being exposed to any type of human life. So we don't want to create a COVID-19 or worse event because we're bringing a space bug from outer space, which nobody's ever been exposed to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm sort of a walking encyclopedia of useless information, so.
Yeah, sorry, we have 2 or 3 walk-ins, but they cannot stay long, so we have kind of tell them what AIAA really is. And we are actually supposed to have some in-person attendee for somebody that didn't show up. I think one of them should be from JPL, but he didn't show up. Probably too close to Thanksgiving. Next time we'll do it away from holidays. But we try to get it started as soon as possible. We don't want to delay.
Yeah.
So that's we'll keep doing it. So you want to keep saying something?
No, if anyone else has any other questions, I'm more than willing to answer them. But other than that, I'll let you go.
Okay.
So lots of other stuff.
Okay. Okay. We'll move ahead to show you something more in a couple of video on James Webb and Mars driving software, International Space Station virtual reality, and also the drone demo. We put on the table. If we have more time, we can really fry them, but it's easier to show you the video. It's smoother. Next time, hopefully, some of you can join us in person. We can do that in person. We did it November 5th, but we hopefully to gather more educators and students and to show it. And we can also go to your classroom. So, okay, so we are going to go back to the slides.
By the way, Ken really isn't this pixelated in person. His lines look a lot smoother.
Okay. No, it's fine. You know, Dean was very humorous. You know, kind of.
He's my straight man.
Yeah. Can you get to your audio setting and see that? Oh, okay. Let's see. I changed to a different. So your computer sound, no, so you're supposed to see a membership chart. Can you see it? Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, we'll just quickly glance through some of the charts. That's great. So feel free to speak it out for any question. So with different level of membership, again, educator is free, K-12 educator free, high school membership is free. So please tell your student and your colleagues to join us. But you do need to renew every year, even it's free. Okay, this is just a chart we'll send out to you. We have a couple very useful resources. You can see monthly newsletter. I'll send you a link. Event summary, we'll add you to the link. And then we have a video YouTube channel, podcast channel, and a list of AIAA membership brochure and PDF and the videos. Very helpful. And we also have the website for events, and you can see this is a link for educator and high school membership. We also have an Engage website, and we put actually the career link over there as well. We are trying to build the resources for people who can easily reference. Okay, so we have if you want to join mailing list, you can do it from here. We'll send this to everyone. So one major thing for AIAA is, as I mentioned, a key thing is the membership. The membership, and if you join AIAA, you can join the AIAA technical committee. Like Dean and I, we joined the technical committee, like a space settlement and several things. As you can see, there are different groups. So we can also get those people if you need some expertise from them. So we have the connections to show it. This is very strong expertise for AIAA. And we also have a very strong team of council members. So this is also great resources. So we have people working JPL, former Apollo engineer, and advanced aircraft manufacturing, Northrop Grumman. As Dean said, we have Dr. Bushell from Raytheon. RP, our K-12 chair, is a community college teacher, and Courtney YP in Boeing, and Ian, we are trying to find a position for him. He wants to do the education for college. He's from Long Beach, and he's formerly Cal State Long Beach student branch. And Marty in Las Vegas, and Ross in the government business and manufacturing. Daniel, very strong USC aviation safety, FAA staff. Jennifer, he's an aerospace attorney. Luis, he works in Lockheed, Skunk Works. He cannot tell you what he's doing, but is a very inspiring person. Okay, so another resource is AIAA Engage. If you are a member, you don't know how to use it, please let me know. I can do a tutorial like we did previously. You can immediately reach out, post your information, request connecting to thousands of members around the world. And then you will get daily lunch every day in your email. And the very prestigious Aerospace America. We actually, our LARB section has a couple activity and article being picked up by this national magazine. So please enjoy it. And you also got a discount in AIAA conference and the forum. This is for national. And we also have a discount for some of the event. Most of the event we try to do it free, but some of the event it's got paid. Need to pay a little small fee. Then we have discount for members. And most of the time it's free for high school students, and that's involve food. And the AIAA publish. So if you would like to have some kind of resource for papers or something like that, it's on ARC. A lot of time it actually require you to pay some fees, but we have connections. If it's some specific paper you need to show your student or for your teaching, we can try to work out with some member for free. But this is official site. You need to access them. You probably have to pay some fees. Again, as I said, AIAA Foundation, they got donation from Blue Origin and other company, but basically it's a little bit limited for like a classroom, but we do have awards for teachers, classroom, and other awards. And AIAA Engage is a very important resource and industry guide. By the way, a couple of those slides, like this one, the previous one, was actually provided by our membership chair, Sherry Stooks from JPL. So it's a career center. We are very big. encourage, but we are not headhunter or job agent. So you need to reach out to us. So we need to know what you and your student will need from us. So one thing very inspiring for.
By the way, one thing on that, career fairs. All your schools typically have career fairs, and we're more than willing to send out representatives from our organization to talk to your students about careers in aerospace. And that, most people, they don't really. I don't have the training to become a rocket scientist. Well, you may have the training to be a technician. I mean, there are literally tens of thousands of different jobs in the aerospace industry. And we can help you, guide you as to where to get your start. And we're more than willing to come out to your schools and talk to your students about careers in aerospace. Next.
Yes, definitely. Well, definitely. Please let us know. Another thing AIAA can inspire students is we have advancement or membership. For example, just pick an example, say Dr. James Worth, he has his company, Microcosm, is a great leader in the AIAA, and we have Dr. Bill Gerstenmaier. In case you didn't know, he was a former NASA human spaceflight director. He's now the consultant. Not consultant, a vice president. He was a consultant to SpaceX. Now he's a vice president of SpaceX on the space flight over there. And Green Shotwell, also they're both our honorary fellow. And we have Alan Polikowski. He was a 4-star general in Air Force. And for example, we also have this awards. For example, this 2 examples. We have one that is lower left, Dr. Paul Bevilacqua from Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. He was the inventor of the F-35 VTOL engine. He holds the patent, and he's our distinguished lecturer and also AIAA fellow. And lower right, this is Dr. Fujino. He was the Japanese Honda Aviation. He won the AIAA National Read Awards. Very inspiring. Those news will inspire students as well. We also used to have model cars. But these, you don't have to be in technical field. You can be leadership, publication, student work, best paper, education, those kind of things. But this is more for college. But if you are AIAA university student, you will be qualified for applying student scholarship. AIAA National Forum, very big. They also have a design for educator and student. Please reach out to us. And Southern California has a lot of great, exciting activity. Dean already mentioned several. And of course, the James Webb. And we have a field trip, and we have people speaking. And we will also show you a demo for virtual reality. And we have members working in all those things. So name it. Just let us know. We want to know what you would like from us. We have things you need. And 3D printing, rocketry, we have a lot of new companies, Slingshot, Aerospace, space traffic control. We have spin launch, in case you didn't realize, a different kind of launch system in Long Beach. We're working with them. So then we have the upper right, see Ampere on electric hybrid sustainable aviation flying cars. We have YouTube channels, great resources to use it while you are looking for, we're sending the real person to you. You can use this video to inspire students with podcasts. Okay, there's some of the web page. This is what I said. We are setting up the career internship resources link. So we're regularly updating it with insider information. So we'll send this to you. Please follow this, and you can. And this is just to show we regularly have activity around LA and Long Beach. You just name it. We want to reach out to you. And the folks here today are welcome to come with us to have a tour and around LA, Long Beach area, and we can really inspire students and help the teachers. And we have activity in different areas. Here today we are in Lakewood. Actually, the gentleman walking just asked, are we going to have another one next week? He was very interested, but he cannot join us today. He just stopped by and understand what's going on. And then we also do it regularly in South Bay, for example, Sarah, when you come back. And we are going to have outdoor drone event nearby El Dorado area. And we'll have a very exciting activity also in another place, like in Dennis in Lakewood. And we also have in downtown a company on space architecture. It can people happy hour. And we got to work with USC professor, Madhu Sankavanu, and a couple. And we actually have this, for example, this lady here, Susan. She actually has a STEM school in Mojave Desert. Is running the Mars simulation. So we are also connecting to her. So we have great resources. Of course, sometimes we have to be careful because some of the private STEM school they would charge for money for getting students to them. But they are welcome to say whatever they like to say. They can offer some help, but we are not trying to advertise for them. But some of them actually were willing to help volunteer occasionally for free. So this is something we did, an indoor drone, because the room temperature is getting cooler. So we did some kind of indoor demo for a drone. This is what we did on November 5th in Longdale. So we flew an indoor drone in the room. So I'm going to show a video. So it's kind of fun. So I'm going to show a video clip to give idea. So this is like a remote sensing. So basically we remote control this drone, and you can see it's flying around. There are a lot of potential for this. We can use AI to analyze the image and facial recognition and doing maybe a geospatial analysis, those kind of things. Very simple to do. And you see it's flying from one end of the room and with a camera on board. And I have another one with GPS. This one has no GPS, it's just for fun. So you can see it's flying like from one continent to another continent. You will reach to the our exhibition table at the other end of the room. And this, you can have some kind of fun, have a hackathon or something like that. And people can fly, have kind of acrobatic for students to flying it with some kind of special route. You can pattern it or something like that. And we can form teams, have competition with your school and from different schools. Students can fly. I can tell kids, students love this. We have this flying in some outreach to some elementary school, middle school. They love it. Students always want to fly it with their own hand. And that will help students to know, to understand the joy of flying. And that's what we really want to convey. We can do this. We also work on something else actually we are working with some members to also try to bring the joy of flying to students or the community or even professionals. We are working on that. We will deliver it to you. So please stay with us. We have several members working on that. So we also did, we actually did this demo last year a couple of times. So you can see in the middle, we have the Raspberry Pi, Arduino on the right. And then we actually did it for, earlier Robert said it's in radio astronomy. We actually use it for ADS-B, for the aircraft tracking and also for satellite signal, with Raspberry Pi. And you can, at lower lab, you can see this quantum computing. So we did a lot of demo for quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and we also have an event October 1st. We can do hands-on demo, connect to some real quantum computers that we can do as well. So we also have speaker on different kind of quantum computer technology. In case you didn't know about this, some of the quantum computer were actually originated by people from TRW. They left TRW, worked at UCLA, they founded a company, and now a lot of aerospace companies were using the quantum computer technology. On the lower right is our member developed a game as a Mars driving software. So the student can actually have a feeling what is really on Mars, and you can drive it on Mars and learn the exciting thing on Mars. Get excited, very inspiring. And this member is trying to develop new version of the software, and he's willing to share with us. And he gave us the license that we can share to the demo exhibition and outreach. So okay. And I'm going to show a video we did for the space station. So this is a virtual reality, and the student can experience what it's really like inside. I'm just doing a short clip. I'm not showing all of
tablet
this.
shows a schematic of the ISS. In addition to the layout of the modules, your current location and orientation are indicated by the yellow triangle on the map.
So this actually can move around, up,
You'll
down.
need to learn how to move yourself through the station. The touch thumbsticks control both your forward and backward movement.
Yeah, it's actually a longer video. I cut it short. So that just show our capability of doing so. We actually have people volunteer, can even do something even more complicated than that. We'll have something coming up too, again. Okay, so I'm going to show a clip on the James Webb Space Telescope using virtual reality.
Made objects like the James Webb Space Telescope, one of NASA's windows into systems beyond 2.4 feet across, made of beryllium and thinly coated in gold. Beryllium is stiff, lightweight, and stable at very cold temperatures, but 3.4 grams, 0.12 ounces, of gold enables the mirror to efficiently reflect infrared light.
Yeah, of course, this is only showing the 2D video, but if you wear the goggle headset, it is amazing. And you can, just like you are standing or flying right around the James Webb Space Telescope, and then you can click the guide, and you will do the,
Webb's 6.5 meter,
for example,
4 foot diameter
yeah.
primary mirror is a gold-coated beryllium reflector used to capture faint amounts of infrared light.
I have a model of this too.
Yeah. We can combine this real model, James Webb, and with virtual reality. It's going to be great. So we want to deliver that to you. Please let us know. I'm going to jump a little bit.
By the way, before it's launched, we do a tour.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah, as Dean said, we also have the tour with James Webb before it was launched. And one of the things we can do is we actually regularly do field trips. We did field trips in, as I said, in the company doing the space architecture, the build SoFi, Northrop Grumman on this. We also did for the aircraft, advanced aircraft manufacturing side and others. So that's something we can do. If your student feel inspired, we can arrange the tours. Component, then you can have a virtual kind of notebook to show the guide.
Welcome to our solar system, home to the sun and all things that orbit it. That includes the Earth, other planets.
Okay, so
to power the telescope.
So you can see now it's showing a solar power array. And now this is just trying to show you the size comparison of James Webb and the future exoplanet telescope. I think it changed name already. And I think what I did, I actually clicked more. I actually click Hubble. You can see, and you put the Hubble next to James Webb, and the elephant, and the car. So imagine how students can do things interactively along with the real model and the explanation from Dean. It's kind of complementary to each other. It's very inspiring. And I think somebody mentioned, oh, this is for the sun shield. We can do this also remotely, even though if you cannot join in person, we can do this remotely, but either you see 2D or you need to have a headset, and we can do online 3D meeting as well, which we are working on for our own console. But you can see, so next step, I'm going to set it, you can go to the observation booth.
From the heat of the sun and earth.
And you can point the
Over the course of 6 months, Webb has access to the entire sky to observe anything astronomers want to study. This includes planets outside our solar system, distant galaxies, and stars at various evolutionary stages, from formation to supernova. Go to the observation deck to explore Webb's discoveries across the sky. Aim the telescope at a discovery marker to see what Webb sees and what it tells us about the universe.
Yes, so once you enter the observation booth, then you can point to the web to any place. And of course, in this case, while you see the demo, I'll just jump a little ahead of her. We can point I think I did something better than this. Okay.
Quintet. Only.
So you need to point this telescope to the certain area that they have data. Then they will show you more information.
Stephan's quintet. Only 4 of the galaxies in this visual quintet are actually close together and interacting. The leftmost galaxy is 250 million light years closer than the others. Webb reveals new detail in star formation regions, plus huge waves resulting from the massive galaxies interacting.
Okay, so I'm going to move at the end. You know, we can set it up like you're actually in the planetarium. You can show up all the concepts. So you see, you can drive, you know, student can drive on Mars, having fun. You can look at the data. This is from HiRISE satellite. And this member is trying to develop using the updated satellite images of Mars. So we are constantly upgrading the software and the images, so you can see students have fun. And he's going to put some kind of structure, and he actually put some habitat on the Mars, so you can do some kind of fun things. And the gaming thing, you know, some students might find it interesting. And that's a good demonstration for you. I'm just trying to show you lots of fun. And like your student are on Mars, and you can see there's a panel when you are really driving there, and the terrain. So he's also developing things for the moon, and we have people working on the moon virtual reality. So we are working on them for the demo. They did it with us, but they didn't give us the permission to demo for them. But we'll get them to participate with us. So this is one thing I want to show you. And I think the time is limited, but I want to tell you GPS robot now is kind of everybody like it. Then we also artificial intelligence rover. We can have potentially we have people willing to work with us on hackathon, so we can plan on that. But that need more time, not just 2 hours. So we can also do hands-on with 3D printing, Raspberry Pi. As I said, we can also bring members astronomy, astrophotography, those kinds of things. And we are also planning on satellite. I think Rich tried to say, but I think Rich still cannot speak up. So that, okay. Sarah, do you want to say something?
I just want to say thank you very much. I really did appreciate the way you broke down the opportunity to show the students and get them involved in the technical aspects of each of these systems and to teach them and to build skills. So if we can continue that conversation, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much for your.
Thank you, Sarah. We definitely will stay in touch. And please, if you want a separate conversation, we're happy to have a separate session with you and see how you can help us or we can help you for helping students. I will also send you a couple of the upcoming events in February and January in South Spain, El Segundo. So maybe you can join us.
That sounds wonderful. Could I also ask that you reach out to me via email?
Yes, definitely. Well, Dean and I will definitely reach out by email.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sarah.
Have some shrimp on the Barbie.
Dean is great. It's really lovely. Yeah, Sarah, you now know. We are very friendly people. We want to connect to you. Okay, so Rich, I know you cannot speak out. Your mic is on, but looks like your mic has some issue. If you want to say something, you can type in the chat. We'll hear from you. And Kathleen, do you want to say something?
Sure. A couple questions. First thing is the VR thing. Very cool. Is there possibly a link where we could go and download that or get access to it some way?
Unfortunately, I think the video is what is from my own. I recorded. I intended actually do it in person so people can enjoy the VR. So for this kind of VR thing, it's hard to have a specific thing. But if you are talking about the clip, I can upload it and share with you. That's no
Okay.
problem.
Because I've got an Oculus system at home, and so I was wondering if there's a way to.
Okay. Okay, understand. Okay, I'll try to figure something out. I don't know how we can do that, but I'll figure something out and chat with you.
Okay, fantastic. And the other thing is, I was wondering possibly if there's some way for me to get in contact with you folks and maybe like set up a time to, chat further about the work you guys are doing and maybe figure out a way for us to collaborate with you folks at AIAA and us at INCOSE SciSteam.
Of course. Definitely. Yes, we'll work with you. We can even set up individual private meeting with you over the phone, online, or anything, and try to. Actually, we worked with INCOSE before. Actually, we used to do a couple events in Northrop Grumman, and the gentleman who helped us was the president of the INCOSE LA. He actually helped us work with us for our meetings in Northrop Grumman a couple times, and he actually help us also, have what should say the booth from Northrop Grumman as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the university, yeah.
I emailed my contact information to the events email address that I got the registration info from. So hopefully you all have that. So
yeah, definitely. We look forward to work with you and either together outreach, or you can join to do your demo or something like that. We're happy to work with you.
All right, fantastic.
Caitlin, where are you physically located?
I'm in Maryland, so East Coast. So yeah, it'll be a bit hard for me to get over to where you guys are physically, but I'd be more than happy to do some sort of virtual means of.
The lab tests are important too.
Yeah, don't worry. We even have people doing demo is flying on Mars from Australia. So you are still closer to us. Excellent. Yeah, so we'll definitely stay in touch. This is just a beginning. We'll have regular activity.
All right.
Excellent. So I guess Diane also left. So Rich in San Diego, he cannot speak out, but if you want to type something, you are welcome to type it there. If not, anyway, we'll stay in touch with you. So if not, thank you so much for joining us today. We're happy to talk to you. So stay in touch. We'll keep working on this. We'll expand the networking and deliver AIAA, LALB section and LALB section outreach to you, work with you, and to the local schools. And I can tell you, actually, I reached out to almost every area of the school system in the area for this meeting, but some of them may not be able to meet this time, but we are in touch with almost in every corner of this area. So we are trying to get them to connect to us. So hopefully we can gradually grow a good community for this. So again, thank you so much again. So appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. See you next time.
Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Take care.
You too. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.